Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
And Allie gets the male and female perspective on dating. Ladies, find out how to get that guy to ask you out.
National Singles Week is happening right now, and we've got some tips to make dating a little bit easier. I have Deanna Lorraine and Moses Brown are here to join me to talk about that. So hi guys, thanks for coming in.
Hi.
Okay. So I guess let's first talk about your website, HerWay. What exactly is that?
HerWay.com is an online dating site, and it kind of takes the Sadie Hawkins approach to dating. And it's actually similar to like the Bachelorette, where the woman does all the choosing and the guys are kind of, competing with each other to get her attention. It works that way on HerWay. The guys are not allowed to search or, look at profiles, but the women initiate the connection. And what we found is that it's 5 times more likely that a connection will be successful when the woman takes the lead. So we're confident that HerWay is the best approach to online dating.
So the woman's in control.
The woman's in control.
I like this dating website.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend this to all my friends.
It's cool because with the women taking the lead, the men don't have to worry about like sending blast emails to everybody and wondering if they're interested. They know that they're interested because the women are the one who contacted them, and so they don't have to fish for everything. And then women don't get the stalkers and everything like that because they're the ones searching.
No, that
so
makes
cool.
a lot of sense. So
yeah.
How did you come up with this idea? Did you have like an experience that made you think maybe I shouldn't be doing this?
Well, it's a combination of experience in the dating industry and also as
not getting approached a lot.
Yeah, not getting approached a lot. And being a consumer of dating products as well. And it just made sense. It made sense because women are ultimately the ones that decide who they're going to meet offline anyways.
So do you find ever that women feel like, because I know sometimes women feel like they should be pursued, that women won't go and make the first move?
I think it's, education process, and I think, as the site is growing, people are understanding that process works, and it's a better approach, and it's more efficient.
It's really like a window of opportunity, we call it, because what you're really doing is you're giving a man a sign of an interest. It's kind of like a wink of the eye or like a hair flip or a smile. So when you're doing that on the street or at the bar, you're going to get more approached by guys anyways when you're doing that. Then men can take the lead after that. Then they can take the reins and they could resume the natural course of dating. So I don't really advise for women to take the lead the whole time,
right?
You know what I mean? Because that kind of throws things off. But it's important to do that initial sign of interest, and then the men can take over after that.
Absolutely. And I can imagine that in sort of today's society that sometimes it can be a little scary to meet someone online. You really have no idea. So do you think that women feel maybe like more in control and not as scared by making the first move?
I definitely think that women are more comfortable, meeting someone from online to offline. If they're the ones that decided who they picked first, who they wanted to meet, and and like Deanna was saying, you're not going to run into your exes or family members or
your
coworkers.
profiles aren't floating up there online. See, a lot of times right now, if you're familiar with online dating, you throw a profile like on Match or something, and then it's swarming up there. Everyone can see it. It's really public and kind of embarrassing if you're like at the supermarket or something and someone sees you or a coworker. But on HerWay, your profile's private until you make it visible to a man that you're looking at. You know what I mean?
So the woman would feel, I feel a lot safer if I'm in the dating scene with that
Exactly.
situation. So why are conversations different online compared to the normal dating scene? What's the difference?
I think because you're already starting with the foundation. You already know them for the most part. You know what their likes and dislikes are, you know what their background is, you know what their occupation is. There's so much that you already can know about them, so you're already starting with a foundation of common interest or like. Whether when you're at a bar or out on the street or whatnot, you don't know anything about them, so it's really kind of just hit or miss. And it saves a lot more time online because you can weed through what you already know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what about signs that a guy will show you that shows that he's interested and actually wants to date you? How do we know that?
Well, personally, if I'm into a woman, there's a lot of PDA going on. I'll, bring her around my friends.
Lots of PDA.
Friends
I am
and family.
definitely a victim of PDA.
A victim or an accuser?
Or accuser, of PDA. I've been,
Right.
Yeah, but I think a guy who is actually in it for the long haul or serious about you, he doesn't want to keep you a dirty secret. He's actually bringing you out in the open. He's proud of you, wants to introduce you to friends and family. Maybe he makes the Facebook status visible and throws up the pictures on the Facebook.
Yeah, what do you think about Facebook, how that's changed sort of the online dating world? Because people say it's bad because you can find out things about people, through their website, but I think we shouldn't be hiding anything.
I think it's another way for people, to kind of confirm that the identity of the person they met online. So, once you find out their name or whatever, you can go on Facebook and confirm that they really do have friends and that they're not some kind of random stalker or
It's
whatever.
good because you can confirm that they have friends. They have a life and a social life.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other ways that you can tell if he's actually interested or serious in you is if he's talking about future plans and events and kind of tying you into the future, that's a sign that he's actually thinking about you and including you in the future, and not just like, oh, what are we doing next weekend, or, you know, what's the short term.
Absolutely, I completely agree. And so
I'm sure you know probably.
Yeah, well, it's just funny. I actually considered like the Bachelorette that I was on sort of the on-air version of dating rather than the online version.
Yes,
of dating.
it's very public.
Yes. So if you have any more, if you want to know anything more about HerWay, you can find it on our website. And I don't know, Erica, back to you. Do you have any tips for dating?
Singles week.
I don't know if you want tips from me, actually. I think just asking questions, that goes a long way. You know, for a guy to ask a lady questions, women, we like to talk about ourselves. So that goes a long way for us.